you are relaxed, absolutely awakened, and then you have the impression that you are actually seeing a place at a distance. What phenomenon is that? An out-of-body experience? Or a remote viewing? Let's talk about the differences between the two of them in a moment. Hello, thank you for being with me again. If you are a subscriber, if you are here for the first time, be very welcome. This channel is about taking control of our personal evolution, both spiritually and here in this lifetime. And that's why today we are going to talk about remote viewing and out-of-body experience. These two phenomena are very commonly mistaken one from another. Actually, the remote viewing is more common to happen than the out-of-body experience, but it can be confusing because the sensation in that remote viewing is one that you are actually seeing as if you were there, but we are still feeling our physical body. So if we were to enumerate a few of the most remarkable differences, number one is this one I just said. In the remote viewing, you still have a sense of the place your physical body is, almost as if you are seeing but still feeling the physical body. So very typically this is a characteristic of remote viewing. Also, in the out-of-body experience, there are some sensations that are very typical of the disconnection from the physical body. When these sensations happen, of course, much more probably we are having an out-of-body experience, because in the remote viewing, usually we do not have this type of sensations, or when we have them, they are much milder. It's not an actual sensation of the separation from the body. We may have sensations of energies around of us, feel perhaps a little bit floating because we are just slightly disconnected, but we do not feel the actual separation when it's the case of a remote viewing. Because in an out-of-body experience, we are actually integrated with that environment we are in, we are participating, then we can interact with objects as well. Of course, I'm talking about non-physical objects. We may see some environments, some structures that we can touch, we can feel. In a remote viewing, no, it's only a vision. We can even have perhaps some light intuition about what that is, but it's never as strong, as clear, and as participating, as much of interaction as we have in an out-of-body experience. The most important thing is that we actually learn how to distinguish these two phenomena for ourselves, because each of us will experience some specific sensations that are typical for us, not necessarily be the case of others. This is always very complicated when we are discussing about these topics, because they are subjective experiences, but also each of us, we sense them in a different way. So as an illustration, for me, I'm going to tell you how I distinguish and what happens to me when I have remote viewings. Does not mean it's going to be for you the same, but just to give you an example, typically when I have a remote viewing, I am relaxed, I am usually in my bed before I fall asleep, and when I see an image, I see it like as if I were looking through a binoculars, but not restricting the image, just as if it were in a frame, but it's a circular frame. So I see as if I were seeing through a probe, in which I actually could see around that shape that is somehow limiting the vision, even though I see the whole scene there. So it's a little bit strange. It's almost as if I were filming it, but not seeing the whole of the image. Anyway, so for me, that helps me a lot, because I can distinguish when it's a remote viewing, besides all the other characteristics that I mentioned to you. So in your case, what are the differences? What sort of sensation, what sort of characteristic will be very typical that will help you to distinguish? Keep an eye on that, because you'll definitely find this in case you have not yet identified it. Thank you very much. Hope this was useful. Look forward to seeing you next time. If you are interested, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you very much. See you.